All right. Welcome, everyone. Here we are at another weekly live stream with some super cool guitars to show you today. We have not just beautiful and interesting looking guitars, but also super interesting sounding, beautiful sounding. And of course, you were just hearing a little bit of a taste of this 7-string guitar by Fanton D'Andon, famous French maker. Roland Dians played his guitars, and this thing is stunning. I mean, just look at that thing. Pretty sweet. But anyways, we'll be getting into it here, and I would love to hear from you. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know what's on your mind today or on your music stand, what you're working on. I just fresh ran out of coffee here, so no coffee for me right now, but normally I would be still drinking some coffee at 11 a.m. As always, please let me know if you have any questions about any of the guitars or just random questions. I'll try to get to as many as I can. And if you're watching this after the fact, you can always use the timestamps to find where I start talking about whatever particular guitar of interest there is here for you. Or to you, I should say. But I was just having fun getting to know this 7-string, which I have to admit, I don't know so much repertoire to use on 7-string guitar, especially that's fairly sight readable. But I was taking a look at this Soar Etude number 5 from the Segovia numbering, and so much fun since this is in B minor and tuning this guitar to low B here at the 7th string. It just fills out so nicely, right? What a great first string, too. Pretty sweet, huh? Fun to play with this thing. But okay, just going to give you a little overview of what guitars we're going to be what we're going to be going through today. But this first one, French guitar, Fanton D'Andon. I have to keep on trying to remember how to say it. Of course, famous French maker, made guitars for Roland Dians and many other very notable artists, especially French artists, but not exclusively, of course. And this one is a beautiful spruce top. It has maple sides and Indian rosewood back and sides. Of course, there's really nice black neck. Then I think bubinga for the back of the head here. And this is maybe the coolest design here, is that it's this 7-string guitar, but where they routed the 7-string tuner. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure I'm focusing on this. I have to change angles here. Look how that 7th string, or in this case it's the 4th out of 7 strings, but look how it's mounted there with Rogers tuners, the top of the line tuners in the world here, so that when you're looking at the guitar, it's symmetrical. And you know, it doesn't bother me too much, but sometimes on 7-string guitars, you have like an elongated headstock to account for the 4th tuner peg here, and then you have 3 on the other side. And I just kind of always thought that it didn't look great. But how cool is it that this last tuner here is disguised? It's really nice. And these Rogers are just top of the line, amazing tuners. And then the pegs here are meant to match the color of the guitar, which is awesome. You're better without mustache. Thought I'd shock you guys here today. But a really cool design of this guitar, great sound, and actually very low action. Super easy to play. This one's from 1993, a year after I was born. It's really fun, when you get used to these 7-string guitars. At first, there's a moment of panic. You're like, oh, how do I play this E major chord or something? You're playing it on the wrong strings. But once you get used to it, and especially if the neck is made very well, like this one is, very thin, so to account for a little bit more of the problems that you might have borrowing more strings or doing bigger stretches. But once you get used to it, it really feels like a normal guitar. There's not much you have to really get used to after you, I don't know. You sort of forget the 7th string is there if you take the time to actually get used to this, which honestly, if you've been playing for a while, it may only take a couple of minutes. It's not, or a couple of hours playing the guitar before you're used to it. And then there's always that option for that B. Pretty cool. Well, anyways, I'll give you a little overview of the other guitars that we're going to go through today. Very interesting. These look super cool, all of these guitars. And that's why the title of the stream is Creative Genius. I think it's just like, there's a stroke of genius with each of these guitars that's on the verge of being too wild, right? Speaking of, take a look at this Joshia de Jonge guitar from 2020. This is a 100th anniversary guitar of hers, and I have to say, I've never seen a guitar this striking that makes you go, whoa. I mean, first off, it's made from all local woods, spruce top, maple back and sides. It's a moon spruce, actually, and there's a little spruce, maybe, tornavos here. And of course, maple fingerboard, Rogers tuners, which is awesome. Of course, again, Rogers on almost all the guitars here today. And you know what? I think that for a lot of people, this white of a guitar won't be their cup of tea, but a couple things might change that. One, I mean, if you are a fan of this maple fingerboard and the way this guitar looks, keep in mind, as time goes on, you'll become more of a fan of it because it'll darken up. Look up an old photo or video of old Torres guitars where the maple back and sides have yellowed so much it's almost like almost a brownish color, an orangish brown. And I gotta imagine when this guitar reaches that stage, it'll be super, super stunning if it's not already to you. But this is very unconventional. A maple fingerboard on a classical guitar. It reminds me of my electric guitar days, playing Ibanez RG550 or like a Fender Strat or something. But when you hear this thing, it will definitely, I mean, maybe hearing it or playing it might be necessary, but it is very, very impressive. It's a spruce double top with Nomex as the in-between layer, and there's a lattice bracing, a very wide lattice bracing on the inside. And a little mini sound port here, also with a slight tornavol, so it goes kind of deep. Oh no, that's actually the thickness of the sides. Oh no, it's not. It's just reinforced around there, probably for the little cover here, which is magnetic. Very strong magnet, which is nice. You can't even lift it straight off, like you can't grip it enough, so you have to slide it for a moment and then pick it up. But listen to this thing. A super deep balanced sound. With tons of sustain. And trebles that are super responsive. I mean, very bubbly, I describe this sometimes with trebles where they're available right at the surface. And you don't really need to play the guitar in a special way to achieve that. Huge overtone content on this guitar. If I just play this G sharp, it lights up the guitar. It's lots of sympathetic vibrations and overtones. Really interesting to me is that this tornavos isn't so deep into the guitar. It goes this far, and it doesn't make the main air resonance of this guitar super low, like below E or anything like this. It's still a G, da 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 da, or G or G sharp. No, I'm hearing G. It's still a G, so you get this very deep sound. That's very, can you hear that? It's like a throbbing low sound. It's very appealing. One thing that's surprising to me is because this little sound port is so small that when it's covered, it doesn't dramatically change the main air resonance. I still hear G. So it goes up by like a quarter step or something, not even a half step. So it's maybe closer to G sharp with it open, but that's for the nerds here. Who here is a nerd caring about main air resonance? Raise your hand. And another thing I want to say is it's very, very, very easy to play. Shockingly so, because the neck is not particularly thin. I would say it's more of a medium to full-size neck here. Definitely you couldn't say this is a thin neck. But the action is very low. The fretwork is perfect. I mean, when you run your finger along these frets too, you can tell it's been kept in the correct humidity and everything. They're very, very round. The attention to detail here at the nut to where, you know, the height of the string above the fret is very, very detailed. And it's super comfortable. Super, super comfortable. And I forget what it is, and gosh, I should be more prepared, but I will for the full video that I make. But there's something special about the shape of this neck. I think maybe it's thinner on the treble side and thicker on the bass side. I'm trying to feel it, although it's very subtle. Yeah, anyhow. It's raised fingerboard as well. It makes it super easy to reach the high frets. My gosh, is this contrasting to the black shirt that I'm wearing, isn't it? It's pretty cool. And then, you know, in her rosette here, you know, I'll put this up close. You see that rosette and you see that marquetry design that you'll also see along the purflings of the guitar. You see that. That same design was put onto the custom Rogers tuners, which I think you'll be able to see there, that same exact design. Well, yeah, it's a nearly exact design that's onto the tuners, these Rogers, and then of course on the center of the head, as well as on the back of it, actually. Tons of little details on the guitar. If you're crazy about details, this guitar, when you look closely, there's so much that you see. By the way, these are all nylon strings. All Augustine Regals happens to be on this one. And I think it's great. I don't want to change these to carbon. There's already plenty of sustain. Okay, we'll go to the third guitar here, but we'll do a little bit more in depth on that Joshia de Jonge guitar. Which, by the way, that one's not on the website or anything. So if you're interested in it, please let me know. I have a full album of high quality photos and everything. So cool. Let me know. Say hello if you're just tuning in. I would love to hear from you. And we'll move on to another guitar here. So this one coming up, this Andrea Tacchi guitar, as many of you might know, that about these guitars, or at least you've seen them before, because there's quite a few famous artists that play on these with this little center piece of spruce and then two outer pieces of cedar. This is by the Italian luthier Andrea Tacchi. This is his Coclea Thucea model. And this is his highest end model. It is the most time consuming to make, as well as you can kind of imagine. The inside of the guitar is his own design. There's all sorts of things about how it's based on the Fibonacci sequence. And, you know, it sounds like a bunch of, you know, frills until you play one of these things. which I can easily rate this in one of the best traditional, not double top, not lattice brace guitars. It's hardly traditional when you see all these different features and raised fingerboard, of course, but it's one of the top guitars I've played. I really love playing on this thing. It's got tons of volume, tons. And the sound is just so responsive yet so organic. And you know, Andrea Tacchi was inspired by looking at, I think it was one of the last, or the last Torres guitar ever made, Antonio de Torres, of course, the father of the classical guitar, about how he used different density woods for the outer, actually I think it was a 4-piece top in that situation, where this is a 3-piece. But the outer densities of the woods were actually different from the inner densities. And it made him think, well, why don't I combine cedar and spruce? And it came up with this design. I'm sure among other reasons. A quick story about this guitar. Quick story about this guitar. My first time being introduced to it, I played it as part of a guitar collector's large collection of guitars. And throughout the entire afternoon, we were playing all the different guitars, some of them that I was going to help sell, and one of them I think I was delivering to him. And this guitar was my absolute favorite of those guitars. So much so where I took a video on it there and sent it to Andrea. I mean, it blew me away. So it's so nice to have this thing around. It also warms up quite a bit. When I took this out of the case this morning, I was like, oh man, it's not quite what I remembered. And then a couple minutes later, after tuning it up, playing some notes on it, I was like, oh wow, this is... Aren't these beautiful colors? See? So warm, so responsive. A beautiful guitar, so easy to play. I mean, now let me say something here. This is apparently Indian rosewood, even though it looks so much like Wenge. It must be a super, super different piece, but apparently this is Indian rosewood. And of course, the top of spruce and cedar outsides. This really nice rosette. You'll see on some of Andrea Tacchi's later guitars, or more recent guitars, he has a very colorful and easily identifiable rosette. To be honest, I might prefer this. You know, it's much simpler. Look at this rosette. I mean, it's hard to argue with that beauty right there. It's gorgeous. And then, of course, you see that, oh, no, I was going to say on the tie block, but it's not. That's the only place you'll find that pattern on the guitar. But it's really gorgeous. Of course, you got that extra C note, the 20th fret, and a raised fingerboard. Very slight. It's nothing dramatic, but it does allow you to reach the higher frets easier. But just listen to that. Oh, I need to play something, huh? There are so many liberties you can take on this guitar. I mean, oh no, I'm ruining it. I forgot the notes because I got too slow. Just listen to the quality of that D sharp. D sharp, everybody. All other strings muted. Absolutely insane. Something else. Nice. You know, I was demonstrating D sharp with all other strings muted. And then I noticed myself in this piece stopping on E. Listen to this insane sustain. You don't notice it. Like, do you even see it on the camera here when I lean it? You may not, but they are there. And then there's a string ding that happened, and there is a crack repair that was repaired long ago, which I can't even find right now. It was very, very well done and a long time ago. But you know what? I mention everything. And yes, Indian rosewood back and sides. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous guitar. So we'll go back through the other guitars for a little bit of time here, and then maybe take some questions. So if you do have a question, that way I don't end the stream abruptly before your question comes through, because I think it is a little delayed, you know, the things that I get from you. So please feel free to ask questions that you may have. Munya says, with your demonstration, I think it's a really special guitar and sounds beautiful. Thank you. She's a paid actor though, so don't listen to her. How much for the Indian? Oh, I don't know. How much the rosewood costs? But all price discussions we can have via email. There's also this guitar here that I was just playing on is listed on the website, along with the 7-string already, which I'm going to go back to and maybe play a couple of more things and demonstrate the strings individually. Oh man, that's nice too. This is my life. You play one guitar to the next one, you're like, oh man, that's nice. You know, there's something very interesting about having the 7th string. Even when you play something like an E major chord, you're not touching the 7th. It's still vibrating, and you get a lot of the low overtones and sympathetic vibrations from that B. That makes it sound. That makes it sound even lower. Mic cutting out. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not getting any notifications about the stream being slow or anything. Hopefully it's still okay. It might, oh, you know what? I might have been playing so loud that the mic was peaking, so sorry. Do I tune it myself? Uh-oh, I don't know what you mean. Devil Rex here? Deliv Rex? I tune the guitars, that's for sure. This thing's waking up some more. How nice is that? I'm going to play a little bit of this Soar Etude again. Scroll down on my sheet music. Oh. Boom. Yeah, this is an ebony fingerboard. In the back must be painted or finished here. This isn't a piece of wood, but must be a finish, which looks so classy. And you can see it goes all the way through the head of the guitar here. But so nice. So nice. Really fun to play with. I'm inspired to learn some more repertoire before I make the full video on this guitar. Some repertoire, maybe some merits or something that's actually meant for 7-string. Looking for a great 7-string, let me know. This thing is awesome. And maybe we'll spend just a little bit more time on this Joshia de Jonge guitar, which was this spruce maple double top here, her 100th anniversary model here. 100th anniversary, 100th guitar, not anniversary. She hasn't been building guitars for 100 years, but this is her 100th guitar from the year 2020. I was playing it a bit earlier, but those of you that might have missed it, I'm going to play it a little bit more. It's all local woods. And that was kind of the inspiration behind the project. This was built in 2020, a time where, at least Joshia was telling me, it was of course a tumultuous time for everybody, but a time where also a lot of us were all sitting inside focusing on our crafts because there was really nothing else to do. And it kind of gave birth to this amazing project here. Maple bridge, maple fingerboard, maple back and sides, in lots of little details with this pattern that you see in the rosette also along the purflings of the guitar here. And it's a spruce double top with no mechs as the in-between layer. And there is also, instead of fan bracing, which you'll see a lot of time with double tops, there is like a very wide lattice bracing. And also a little miniature tornavos. This thing has features galore. Also Rogers tuners, high-end with custom engraving to match the rosette and the purflings here of the guitar. And there's this beautiful, rich, deep sound. And the sustain of the basses lasts forever. In every string, not just the low 6th string. Very clear. And then when you get to the trebles, which are all nylon strings, they are just so on the surface, ready to be, like they're just waiting to come out of the guitar. It's really nice. Lots of sympathetic vibrations and overtones. Oh, I haven't even tuned it to drop D yet. Listen to this. You can be very sweet, very gentle with this guitar. Tons of sustain. It's so easy to make music on this guitar. Really nice. So if aesthetically this guitar is your cup of tea, then my gosh, it is a one-of-a-kind guitar that's oh so special. This, by the way, was this one was displayed at the Guitar Foundation of America convention, I believe. Gosh, I think that's right. And there's only been one owner of this guitar. So there's tons of room for this thing to wake up even more. Man. Well, thank you all so much for watching here today. We've been through this guitar by Joshia de Jonge, not on the website yet. Check it out. If you'd like, you can check it out by sending me an email. I'll send you a full album of photos, tell you more about it. And then we also had a look at this beautiful Andrea Tacchi Coclea Thucea, year 2010, his top model, a super, super rare guitar. You never see these available on the market. So please write to me if you're interested. I'll fill you in on all the details. I can't recommend this guitar enough. It's one of my favorite guitars I think I've ever played. So it's pretty sweet. Definitely my favorite Tacchi I've ever played. And I also showed you, which is very difficult to get off of the stand because it's 7 strings and a little bit wider neck, but this awesome Fanton D'Andon guitar from the year 1993. This super clever 7-string with an amazing implementation of that 7th string, where he has the 4th string go here so that you have a symmetrical headstock, and you can see that at the back. Super awesome guitars. Thank you all so much for watching. There'll be another video released tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. And write to me if you have any questions. But thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next stream. Bye-bye.